Hello, everyone. Hello. Sarah here. Today we're going to be talking about how to break out, and it's really not going to go into how to break out because a breakout is in the inner transformation, is in the experience, and the breakout is an experiential experience. I don't even like the word process because process indicates that it has to be a certain way, like step one, step two, step three. And a lot of times when we're breaking out of this very messed up, traumatic internal system, we look to things externally. And I cannot tell you the number of people that come to me when the things that they've done externally to try and heal or transform what's happening internally messes them up even more and makes things even worse. So I've had so many people say, I've done IFS. And if you're unfamiliar with IFS, it stands for Internal Family Systems. It's an approach to psychotherapy that identifies and addresses multiple subsets or subpersonalities of family within a person's mental system. And the thing is, when you're trying to figure out why everyone in your family is the way that they are, you're dabbling into and diving into other people's problems, other people's story, other people's traumas. And most people, because of what they've gone through that's traumatized them, or they're had them connect to a perception that they're broken, they're in a lot of pain. They're not going to willingly say, come on into my pain. Let me tell you this. You'll notice it and you'll experience it because it gets projected onto you. But you're there to try and figure out why and how you got here. Here being this place in your life where you feel like everything is so messed up and I just want to not feel broken anymore. Why is it that I run to the rescue of other people who I know hurt me? And why is it that I experiencing feeling guilty when I try to have a healthy relationship with myself and when I do things for myself? Why is self-care so self-hurting, so self-harming when I've got the time and I've got this life and I know the things I want to do, and they're simple, small, easy things, or things that other people tell you you should do because when you do them they should make you feel better, like go for a walk or exercise or drink water, or wake up and affirm what you're happy for and grateful for today. So when you dive into a traumatic system to try and break free from the trauma, what you're really doing is diving deeper into trying to figure out other people's trauma. And they will only let you in so far. They'll tell you things like, well, my mom treated me this way, or when I was growing up, it was like this. And you'll hear this story of it was worse for me, so you should be so grateful that it's not that way for you. I didn't do that to you. I could have. I chose not to. I didn't whip you with the belt. I spanked you with the hand. And you're like, great, like that's so much better. And so what IFS is to dive into the multiple subpersonalities of families within each person's mental system. But really the most important, crucial, vital, significant thing to do is to explore your own system and not try and figure out theirs, because then you're trying to manipulate and coerce and control them to try to get them to stop being a certain way so that you can begin to feel a certain way. And so for so many people, especially people that I work with, they've already done so much of that work themselves. And what a number of them have said is it made them feel worse. It made them, it's no wonder why people have a belief that transformation and breaking out of that or breaking free from that takes forever. I mean, if you can imagine, what if your second grade teacher was a cause of the trauma because of something that happened in front of the class, and you felt this intense experience of shame and embarrassment and guilt. You felt stupid, and now you've been living the rest of your life through the lens of I'm stupid, I'm an idiot, I will always be this way. And now when I even think about trying to put myself out there, I just feel stupid. And I feel like I can't do that because I don't dare go through the experience of that type of embarrassment again. And so now I am trying to not live with this belief or with the feeling of anxiety that I'm just a blubbering idiot, and I can't do the things that I really want to do, and I don't even know what I want to do anymore, because I used to want to do that until it left me feeling like that, and now really what you want to break out is the feeling and the emotions. And so systems and programs like IFS, they dub into sub-personalities that consist of, hear this out, and this is by definition, consist of wounded parts and painful emotions. Guess what you're going to experience more of when you dive into wounded parts and painful emotions, such as anger and shame, and parts that try to control and protect a person from the pain of the wounded parts. Do you hear all of the pain in just the definition of that kind of system? So I was just on a connection call with someone, and we're moving forward towards working together privately, because it's the breaking out of that. And I'm laughing because I'm looking at my diagram, which I'm about to show you, and it looks like titties. Which is kind of funny, because we talked about how it does go back to in utero, and sometimes this cognitive dissonance and emotion, like when you feel it, it goes back to infancy. It goes back to before you could logically or verbally express your understanding of what was happening. You could feel it energetically, just like you can feel when you walk into a room that people in the room have been arguing, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to escort myself out now, please. So I drew this. I'm laughing because it looks like messed up titties. But here's what we were talking about. IFS, internal family systems. Here's the system, right? And here's you, this little dot that's a part of this system. So no wonder, just by the sheer visualization of this diagram, you're a part of this system, and you're in it. You're locked in it. You're surrounded by it. And that's what it feels like. You feel locked in to the wounded parts and painful emotions. You feel surrounded by it. And it feels like, okay, well, I've got to go to this person over here who's my mom, or this person over here who's my uncle who abused me, or this person over here who's my second grade teacher, who since then I have felt like an idiot, and I felt like a failure at school because I felt like I allowed school and that letter on that test to define my intelligence. Okay, none of those. And so you're trying to figure out all of these other people, all these other dots and persons inside this system that you feel surrounded by and locked in. What made their wounded parts? What made their painful emotions, such as anger and shame? And all while doing that, you feel locked in here, blocked by it, surrounded by it. Really, the definition of transformational healing and the way that I work with people is with their unconscious beliefs. You're not going around trying to figure out everyone else's beliefs. Just understand they're fucked up too. They're wounded and they're in pain. But the experience of breaking yourself out of it and breaking free from it is where I drew this line. And I said, it's like this. The system is still there. You're not going to change the fact that there was a system that you were a part of, but the experience of breaking out of it and breaking free from it is like, it is freedom, is energy, is peace, is health, is calmness, is vitality. So no, these are not titties. This is a diagram of what it's like. There's still the system. And the transformation is this experience of you used to be trapped in it, surrounded by it, a part of it, and now you're out here and you're free and you're not imprisoned anymore. But you can look at it from a new angle and a different perspective and see and understand, I don't need to connect with or associate with being in here and trying to figure everyone else out anymore. This is me, and I have broken free from this, and I don't need to be worried about feeling bad for healing everyone else's wounds, or bad for setting my own boundaries, or bad for taking care of myself, or feel that I'm stuck in the system and in the program anymore. That I can understand that the system is there, but here I am. And so a lot of people experience, they want to feel better, they want to feel different, they want to be able to process emotions, and emotions are there to allow us to connect with certain things in a certain way. And a lot of us feel like our moral compass is like moving like this. I don't know, it just depends on what they say about me or how I feel when I'm around them. And when we let external things define who we are, then it feels like it goes off and it goes haywire and we're led down the wrong path in the wrong direction too easily, especially when we're trying to go in and fix or heal or change someone else's sub-personality or painful emotions. The only person you can do that for is yourself. So transformational healing is about breaking out of this and understanding it's a system that you used to maybe be a part of. And yes, we all have been inside, but true freedom lies outside of this and in the understanding that this broken, wounded, painful system no longer needs to define you. Painful, traumatic stories of the past, yes, they happen to you. And I hear things like people say, I know that God will not give me more than I can handle, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm still trapped in here because I want to be here. And so this was our diagram today. And I just felt like it came through our call so that I could share it with you all. You guys know I like to rhyme. So that is the experience of working together. And just wanted to highlight this and share this, especially if you're someone who's gone through trying to figure out how to break out of the system yourself and why you still feel like, I can move a little bit more in here, but I still feel confined. I still feel trapped because you're still in part of the system. And you'll never ever break out by trying to figure out what the core and the root of other people's pain is. You may have a cognitive understanding and things may make more sense, but what you really want to experience, not just have things make sense of, you want to embody and experience something completely different. You want to wake up happy. You want to wake up, knowing that there's no such thing as perfect. That's perception. And even if you're living this perfect life, someone else can come in and go, that's not a perfect life. A perfect life is this. And you can go, okay, sure. And not be so impacted and affected and triggered by it that it spirals you down into, depression and panic attacks and anxiety attacks and all of those things that now you go to a traditional person and they're like, oh, let me write you a prescription for this. Take this pill every day for the rest of your life. Just numb out and come back if you need to change, okay? And you're thinking, wait a minute, I know that life wasn't meant to be lived this way. So this is the breakdown. Looks like titties, but it's not. So just wanted to share that with you guys today because I know a lot of people, we do a lot of things to try and get out of this experience that we're currently having and try and get into new experience of living. And it truly is with deeply getting to the core and the root of what your unconscious beliefs are, because those dictate your stories. When you can hear yourself saying things to yourself like, if this happens, I'm like, oh god, I just can't deal with that, or not today. And then you delay, living and you say, well, you know what, next year. Or you have the opportunity to, but then you don't. And then part of you is like, why wouldn't I do that? That doesn't even make any sense, because of the programming, because of the unconscious programming that your mind is living. And that is what is screaming out to you to go, get me out of here. Like, let's break free from this. So that's what true transformational healing is all about. So if you feel aligned with it, I'd love to invite you to click on the link in the bio and connect, see if we're a good fit to work together further privately. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Sending you so much love. Hope you have a beautiful day. Bye for now.